Hello, I'm Sandra Gilmour. I am the mother of a 21-year-old daughter, Prue, and my husband and I live in a rural town in Canterbury. We have decided now that Prue's finishing school at the end of the year that we'd like to set up a micro-enterprise for her. She's very high needs, mostly non-verbal, and she requires 24/7 supervision. However, she has always been interested in the laundry, domestics, helping her grandmother with the ironing and washing. So this was the one path we felt, one thing that she could do, and there's something she could be involved in her local community doing. At the moment there is no laundry service in Darfield, that's our nearest town. It's, as I said before, a rural town. So we started off in the winter doing, and I had thought rugby jerseys would be a good start. So we managed to get 2 local clubs to supply us and support us by offering for us to do 2 or 3 teams. It ended up doing 6 teams. That's quite a number of jerseys, muddy jerseys on a wet day, but however it wasn't an overnight job. It had to be returned by the Thursday, and we picked them up on the Saturday or the Sunday, and a lot of the tasks were involved Prue needs to learn and master the skill, particularly, and there will be some things within the business that she cannot do. However, she always needs support person with her. So the likes of the scrubbing the mud is something she can't do. She can load the machine, she can help hang out the washing, she can get it in, and she's learning how to fold it in a specific way that can be returned to the club. And she's enjoying it. She's now taken it on board and realises that it is a responsibility of hers, and she's growing with it, and that's my ambition, that she takes more and more responsibility and more ownership of the job. However, now the winter's finished, we're looking for some summer work and have approached some local cafes, and now just starting on tea towels and washcloths from one cafe. We've got a contract to do tablecloths and serviettes from a tourist luncheon, homestead visits that they have from November through till February. A bus tour is coming out to one of the farms in the area, so we've got that contract coming up. So we're into the summer. Our vision is that Prue be involved in her local community. Her week is filled up with meaningful activities. Of course, the laundry won't be 5 days a week. It will start off with maybe 2 days a week and perhaps increase to 3. She still needs to have social and physical activities involved with her week, so we're working on 2 days a week that she's doing other things and she's getting out and about. But the goal is that she leaves home Monday to Friday between 9 and returns after 3. And she's been doing something, like anybody goes to work. To do that, of course, we're on a farm, so we need a location in the local town that she can go to. We do have a house that we will be using, and it has a separate laundry at the back, and it's within walking distance of the shops and the library, so she can, with a carer, deliver, pick up, drop off some of the laundry items and base herself there, and then be delivered back home afterwards. The long-term vision is that this house that we have purchased in Darfield to operate the laundry out of is rented at the moment. It has separate, it can be divided off, so there's the living areas can be locked away at the moment. But the long-term vision is that in 5 years maybe, Prue can live at the house, maybe 2 to 3 nights a week with support people. And once again, that's transitioning her out of the family home gradually. That's the goal. Because we're in a rural location, it's been the whole transition into life beyond schooling has been terribly difficult, not only for us as a family and parents, but getting the information through the schools, through the ministry, getting providers, transition providers to come out to the rural, to the school. They just wouldn't do it, you know, and I struggled with that and trying to get information. So over the years I have been trying to access as much information through other schools and through Lead School Transition, which was a program that was going. It's now been abandoned, but there were some very good people there that kept me in the loop as to any seminars that were going on. I'd go and I'd listen to what was happening around the country, and of course that's when individualised funding and enabling good lives was getting talked about. It was exciting, but it hadn't happened. And interestingly enough, last year I talked about starting the transition process. There was no guidance as to who you should use. I went with one provider. All they did was ring me and said there'll be somebody coming out to interview you. They never came to the school, they never contacted me, they knew nothing about our daughter. And from that phone call, I said, I'll ring you back. I rang back and said, no, let's stop here. This is not what I want. I didn't like the way it was done. Hearing about enabling good lives and trying to create a life and you being more in control of it, you choosing who does what they have to do with your child seemed just the perfect answer to me. So that's, and I heard of other micro-enterprise scenarios that were in place, and then the wonderful news, Enabling Good Lives, was to start in Christchurch November 2013. The timing was absolutely perfect because Prue was 20 at the time. She had 1 more year at school, and I thought this is brilliant. So I immediately contacted them, told them what my vision was, and said we need to get started. We need to have our first meeting in January. I knew I had to allow a year, and truly it definitely, you do need 12 months, I think, to make it happen, because it won't just happen overnight. There's a lot of steps along the way, and every step is something that you can tick off, but it's you know, you get your funding applications, that's a major thing. You then have to employ people, that's another major. You have to set up a company, you have to get accounting systems in place. There's a lot of steps along the way, and it does take time. So Enabling Good Lives has just been fantastic, and the support with them and the vision and their way of thinking is just the way I think, and it's so different to the other existing facilities that are out there. You don't have to try and convince people of your dream. They straight away understand where you're coming from, and all they want to do is help you make it happen. They have a totally different outlook on inclusion and supporting disability. With Enabling Good Lives, of course, you know, there's well, they suggest you have a circle of support, so you invite certain people along to help you, and that you think, yeah, that you think would be beneficial. So I invited a community person who I knew had done great things for local community projects. I invited the Lions Club member along, and my sister-in-law who's done respite care with Prue, and one other person. Plus there is a navigator, and that through Enabling Good Lives you are, as a family, are appointed a navigator. Now our navigator, Annette, has just been marvellous. She is so supportive. She goes with you to, she just does all the paperwork. She'll go to interviews. She helps you sort of follow your dream and make it happen. And I did say to her one day when we were going to a meeting at school, I said, Annette, how long are you on the ship for with us? And her reply was, as long as it takes. I was so relieved to hear that, because I thought she might tell me 3 months or something, and I knew it was going to take away longer than that. However, every family's different and every situation's different, and the involvement with everybody could, be more or less depending on what their goals were. So hopefully I'll have Annette with us till the end of the program, or maybe forever down the track. I hope so, even if it's in a personal relationship. But yeah, they're a great support base. Prue is very high needs. She's mostly non-verbal. She has some words, probably about 10 words. She uses some sign language, but her motor skills are not good, so it's not clear signs, but it's signs that have evolved for her, and we're aware of those. She uses an iPad, well, she's learning that, so those skills will always need to be encouraged, and she'll have to have ongoing literacy programs. She uses PEC's communication system. She is 24/7 care. She needs help with her dressing, her supervision for eating. She can toilet, but she needs some assistance. She needs bathing help. She walks, however, a little bit unstable, so she always needs to have support with her.
So how are you able to tap into her motivation so that she actually does the laundry, and how does that work with little communication?
The laundry has evolved through observation over the years, working with my mother, Prue's grandmother, who's now in her 80s, but she's always encouraged Prue with the domestics, and Prue loves it, and she will sit there for hours passing her the washing to be ironed and helping doing the dishes and things like that. And it was one thing I could see that she could do, even though it's only a part of the process. She could do it, and she seemed to enjoy it. Strangely enough, it's not my favourite, but anyway, Prue loves that, and that's how the idea came about. It's very hard to look too far ahead, particularly in the early days with a child with a disability. It's so difficult every day, and there's been health issues with Prue, and so you just manage each day at a time, and you get through each stage in their lives, and the primary years, the secondary years, and I really didn't know that Prue was going to make it to adulthood, but as you do and you get nearer to it, you think, well, how are you going to face the next step? And of course you've grown a little bit along the way. You've got more confidence and the ability to face the challenges from here on, and that's how you do it. But prior to that, you could never imagine what might be happening in 10 or 20 years' time. So it's a stage thing, and it evolves as life evolves, and the strength comes and goes. It wavers with time, and when you've got the strength to do something, you do it. So